Okay, hello guys, and once again welcome back to the channel. So for this video we are going to talk about the Reaper class and some updated course stats and attributes that you need to take note of. Okay, so almost 50 or maybe more, 50% or more of players are suddenly switching to the Reaper class. And you're probably wondering what stats are good or what cores are best to use. Now, before we begin, I want to let you know there are two kinds of recommendations that you can actually use when upgrading, updating, or improving your character. The first is the game recommended stats or attributes. That is the one that you can see where we have a green M. So these are game recommended attributes, and what we have here are the game recommended stats, and what we have here is the game recommended elemental attack for that specific class or character. Now, since we have that done and over with, the second recommendations are actually like the off meta recommendations. So these are player based recommendations. So for player-based recommendations, they do use the game recommendations, but they make altercations or they make different updates, or not updates. They do make use of different stats or attributes, and they improve on those. Now, for gaming-related attributes, the disadvantage for this is that it tends to go with players who are paid to win or who are spenders, because they can increase their stats using cash in order to get a lot of items in game, which in turn will boost their overall attributes and stats. Now, for free to play users and casual spenders, there isn't much of an advantage when using a player recommended stats. The main issue with this is that we only have the option to use the daily events to improve ourselves or your character class. You only have the game free items, etc. etc. You probably get what I'm trying to get to. So those are the main issues that you can encounter. Now, one other thing is that for game recommended stats and attributes, the game developers will of course focus on those things because the game has already been programmed and will be pre-programmed based on the data that they already have. So the game recommended stats would always tend to cater for free to play users. Actually, it will cater to all players, but if you're very specific with stats, attributes, and all those types of build, then I would suggest trying to focus more on the game recommended stats, because this will help you out in the future, or this has a future proof, because developers will not change, or if they do change, they will always take into consideration that a lot of players are using the game recommended attributes and stats. Okay, so that took quite a bit of time. Let's now proceed. So for the Reaper class, our two main attributes as mentioned before is magic attack and cooldown reduction. Now for the third attribute, or for the third trait, that would be up to you if you want to get MS, crit level, or AP level. So that would depend on the type of gameplay that you want to use your character on. Now for magic attack, if you want, it increases your magic damage, and the only stat that would, or not the only, but the best stat to increase in order to improve your magic attack would be, of course, intelligence. 1 point of intelligence will give you magic attack by 5, multi-strike by 2. Okay, then next we have CDR, or cooldown reduction. Increase the Reaper's recovery speed of heart point. So do take note that the CDR will decrease the cooldown of most of your skills and at the same time, it will improve the recovery speed of your hard point. If you're not familiar with the hard point, um, okay, I can't access it here. Let's leave first. So for those not familiar with the hard point, we actually have a glowing orb when we're using skills. It's a violet orb or blue orb, the one we see here. So every time you use a normal attack or a skill, usually this will decrease in points. So you can check that up yourselves later on. So it will improve the recovery speed of hardpoint. So in order to improve CDR, you need to place points on insight. So if you want to go with the game recommended stats, you will either focus on max int or max insight. That is for the game recommendation. Now for the player base recommendation, then that would be up to you. So let's check my course. Of course, since I was a soul dancer, my main focus was on fire intelligence or fire core because it increases intelligence. I did not make any changes on that or whatsoever. Now to increase my insight, I have 5 water gems because this will increase your cooldown reduction and your recovery of heart points. Now instead of having 2 earth, I did swap with wind. So I now have dex, and dexterity in turn will give you an increase in multi-strike, and it will also increase your, let me just check, magic attack. So it increases magic attack, critical, and multi-strike. So I did focus on dex on my third option for the course. Now for the core, that would be up to you. You can either go with the game recommended stats or attributes, or you can go with player based. So good luck with that. And then now we go with the skills. So is CDR important? A lot of players have been saying, no, it's not important. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But if you do look on the talent tree for the C-level talent, Heart of Reconcile, the effect of increasing heart points restore speed with CDR stat is extra improved by ×1. Now, is ×1 really a big help? I'm not sure if this is a bug or if this is the actual rate, because anything you times with 1 will return back to the same amount, and if it's 0 then it's gonna be 0. So I'm not sure if this is the correct translation, or maybe I'm just misunderstanding it. Okay, so for the talents, I won't go to very specifics as the talents has just been released within this day. So let's just go with the basics. If you're planning on using the cat attacks, then you can go with cat enhancement or destroy in chain. Destroy in chain is a good one because this will the actual skill effects is good because if you track destruction and doom blast cannot miss, meaning your damage will be improved and there are no misses, or they can't miss, but most of the skills don't miss anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? Have you ever seen a skill that misses consecutively when you're on PvP or when you're attacking monsters? Nope. So I'm not sure what this other option is for. Okay, so for the B level talent, we have the Cat's Walk. The Cat's Kiss keeps Claw of the Spectral Cat from consuming energy. So this will save you up on heart points. Now we can definitely see that heart points is very important in order to use your normal and your skill-based attack skills. So for the Connected Nightmares, connecting recovers 5 additional heart points per second. So as you can see here, most of the talents is based on heart points. Breath of Annihilation increase heart point to 200 and temporarily increase max HP by 100. So we have Drain. So most of this are Raven skills. Now this is a mix. This is for the Raven. Connected Nightmares is actually from the Demon Chain. If you're not familiar, This is the Demon Chain, the first skill you can activate when you're on Raven form. So for the S level talent, we have the Surging Energy, max hardpoint increased by 100, and all skills by 1%. So if you're switching skills or auto attacking, this is a good S level talent to use. Now for the second one, we have the Cat's Tango, Spectral Cat. So consumer heart point, all skills won't consume heart points for 5 seconds. It's very short. But it's gonna be good if you activate both of your ultimate skills at the same time. Maybe you can do it within 5 seconds, but I'm not sure. Let's check that out later. And all damage increased by 15%. Removing the Destruction Blast CD, bestowing super armor. Okay, so Destruction Blast. So if you use this, plus you use this one, I'll use Cat's Tango, your Destruction Blast will have a significant increase in damage. Oh, this one, I'm sorry. So Destruction Blast will have an increase in damage. So other than Cat's Tango, we also have the Destruction Shadow, which is also based on the cat form. That is one of the ultimate skill that we have here, the Grim Scythe. So let's check on that again. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not from the Grim Scythe, this is from the Destruction Blast as well. Casting Destruction Blast reduces, oh actually it's right, it reduces the Grim Scythe's cooldown by 15 seconds and reduces hardpoint consumption of Grim Scythe by 20. So every time we use Destruction Blast, it will reduce the cooldown of the Grim Scythe. And do take note, the cooldown is actually more than a minute or 90 seconds. So those are just a brief preview of the different talents that you can use. Now for the EX, we still have one EX skill that is not translated, or the name is not translated, but the skill effect is in English, so that's okay. Now for the plan, I haven't been actually increasing my points, so that's one of the issues why I won't be able to provide an in-depth guide for this one, including with the talents, because it's just released today. And when I was playing Reaper, it was in the CN server, wherein you need to use some translator in order to actually get a basic review of the skill. So for combat, or for the default, I chose to place Sly on a Fax because it increases your hit rate by 15%. I'm not sure if this is necessary because hit rate only increases or decreases your miss, and we don't usually miss on this. But the most important is this one. The damage dealt by Destruction Blast increases by 5%. So in combination with the talent earlier, this would definitely give you a boost. And once you use High Magic, it's gonna be the same. So casting Destruction Blast magic damage increases for 5 seconds for 3%. So those are the skills which I increased at the moment. You definitely can have a better build. So for me, I'll go with Cat's Tango. I'll also go with Drain. It's when you use the Raven skill, because you can spam cast the Demon Chain, which is a good combination with Drain to get additional HP. Now for Connected Nightmares, we can either use Breath of Annihilation. It increases your heart point to 200. You can use the Connected Nightmares Demon Chain Connected, so this will be in combination with Drain if you want to use it. It will increase your damage, and it will also not steal, but you can also get heart points, or you can use Cat's Walk. So for Cat's Walk, increase in Spectral Cat damage. So I'll probably choose Connected Nightmares or Overload. But since the heart points actually increases quite fast, I'll probably use Connected Nightmares. So Connected Nightmares will be in combination with Drain, and Destroy Chain will be in connection with Cat's Tango. Okay, so that's it for now. I'll probably make a better build or guide once we get to familiarize ourselves with the Reaper. If this video helped you out, do make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, or do subscribe. It actually really helps me a lot. And sa mga Pinoy subs, maraming salamat sa panonood. And sana supportahan nyo palalo sa pamamagitan ng pag-share, etc. And once again, thanks for watching.